Alright. Got my tracker, we've got the game. I think we are good to go. So we are going to attempt our first foray into the SMRPG Randomizer today. Gonna be a good time, I feel. For sure. As you can see, things are a little bit different because one of the settings I did turn on is a palette randomizer, where all of our party members are going to look a little bit different from what they normally are. So that is just one of the fun things that goes along with this. But I did a couple of test seeds just to see how easy it was. Well, not easy, but just for someone like me that doesn't do a lot of randomizers or at all, just how easy it is to get into this in terms of logic and making forward progress and things like that. But yeah. Oh gosh, Mallow looks like Hulk over here. The other fun thing, and if you pay attention to the menus when we're swapping in and out for party members, you will notice that they are named different names and whatnot. Oh, and we start with Peach. That was one of the other things, is something I forgot to do in my other playthroughs. Well, of course, we start with Peach. We gotta call her Bullseye. I mean, all files are likely gonna be called Bullseye either way, but... yeah. Yeah, let me go down the line and say what settings we've got for our randomizer here. We have randomized key items, which means all of the key items we need to make progress or get into keys we need to get further into, say, dungeons or areas towards bosses. Anything we need to make progress or have other checks, those are randomized. So they are just randomized amongst all the checks for normal key items. We are also randomizing star pieces. Now, my setting is going to be we have to pick up 6 stars before we can head to Smithy. Instead of getting 7 stars and all that. There's a whole bunch of different settings and such. But, let me see what else. We've also randomized characters. As you can see, we are starting with Peach instead of Mario. We're also randomizing what order they join in. And of course, my favorite part of this is we have palette swaps, where characters have different palettes added to their looks and whatnot, and they name them according to what they look like as well. They have cute little names in the menu for them. Treasures and rewards. Replace worst chest items with coins. Lowest valued items are replaced with coins in a chest, which is fine. Randomized shops. This is going to be a fun one, from what I have found. Shop contents and prices will be shuffled. Chaotic shop inventory. Any shop can contain anything. That also includes any non-key item, such as the worst items, like the Wilch Room, or the best items, like the super suit and the attack scarf, I think is what it is. I think that's the other one you get from Super Gems. But those can all be found in a shop, so if we get those really early, we will be set with equipment. The other thing I am doing, just because again, this is my first time trying it, and we can build up to it as we go, because I feel like I'm going to be playing this for a while in the future. I have turned on free shops. All shop items will be 1 coin. You start with 9,999 coins and 99 frog coins. But again, going forward, we probably might kind of play with that, turn it off, and see just how easy it is to grind and whatnot. So, but for now, we are turning on free shops, XP boost, just double, just because when I first played my first seed, like even all the enemies in area 1 were like 1 XP, and I was making like no progress. So if all the stars are going to be swapped amongst all the bosses and the mini bosses, and when I say mini bosses, I mean even like Croco, Box Boy, all those like treasure bosses and stuff as well, they could all hold stars. So we gotta be able to make progress. Enable factory warp. This is a fun one, especially if it comes to like doing any kinds of races and stuff. Once you collect all your star pieces, you can talk to Great Guy to warp directly to the final boss, which means we won't have to do Bowser's Castle or the factory. Plus, the only kicker for this, and it'll be more fun in the future, for reasons I'll detail in a second. But you have to get you not only have to get the Bright card, which you would normally get from Knife Guy after beating Booster's Tower, but then you also have to go through Bean Valley and get to the shortcut to get to Great Guy's Casino. So then, you know, you do all that, you get to go warp, you just get dropped right into Smithy. So that can be fun. Which could also be something else we could open up in the future, which is, I could include the Bright card being randomized into key items, which means if I want that factory warp, I have to go and find the Bright card, which means I have to do all of the key item checks. Which, talking about checks, we have a lovely open-sourced rando tracker made by Pidge01, the SMRPG encyclopedia. She is a wonderful resource, and so is the Discord, which of course, if you are curious about what resources I am using here today, any questions and anything, you can put them in the chat. Or, this is the link for it. Hey, Shiverest, how are you? RPG, yes. Now I did do some testies for this just to see how, I guess, easy to get into it is for me. But this will be our first time doing this particular seed with some tweaks on it on stream. So again, it is a little more simple, but we can probably... I got hooked into playing the seeds that I did, so we could probably just continue to just enjoy the randomizer and probably turn on some more difficulty settings going forward. Hey Shannick, how are you? Yes, this is our first time doing a Super Mario RPG rando seed. I got a couple cooked up. I mean, the ones that I did took about 3 to 4-ish hours, give or take. But if somehow I find like a whole bunch of stars and good equips, I've got another one in the folder waiting just in case. Yes, I am very excited. Again, chat is looking, stream is just looking a little bit different because of course we've got the randomizer, we've got the tracker, so you all can see what I've got going. And all that. You'll want to be able to see, like, what checks and stuff I've got, of course, and I need to be able to remember that, too. It's a lot easier than going with pen and paper remembering stuff, so... But, yeah. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or queries or wondering where can I do this, go to that link in the chat under randomizer.smrpgspeedruns.com. I know a couple of the speedrunners and randomizer devs have also been like, hey, anybody that has any interest in the randomizer, speedrunning, any interest in SMRPG, y'all are happy to check that website out, be happy to join the Discord and all that. They are always happy to have people that are enthusiastic about SMRPG. So, with all of that said, get a drink of water. And we will get ready to go. Yeah, this is going to be interesting and fun, I feel. Since this was we are starting with Peach and moving forward. I didn't think about it. I didn't think about if I should have a timer on it or not. Y'all really feel like a timer is necessary for randomizer? Because it's not like I'm going to be submitting it anywhere. And this is really just for funsies, I guess. We could always maybe do that next time going forward if it matters. But, yeah. I mean, we're getting started at about 34 minutes in, so just going from there, we'll see how long this takes us. And we'll just have fun with it. Alright, let us go! Yep. Poor Mario. Yeah, as you can see, Mario's palette swapped, and this is one of your first checks. All the checks are on the field now, including, this is where one of the flags from Monstro Town should be, and now we've got Cricket Jam. So Cricket Jam is one of the things we could turn into Frogvicious. But, oh, Toadstool's the leader, and then of course we got Mario and Frog. As you can see, with Mallow or Frog down there, they are all palette swapped and they all have cute little names to go along with them. It's interesting that we have Toadstool in a different dress. I know in a couple of the other ones I got her in a Daisy palette, and her name was actually Daisy in the menu here. And as you can see, we are all starting at level 1 with no weapons, no armors, no accessories. So we've got a few checks we need to do in terms of just seeing what we can find. But let me go ahead and click Cricket Jam, since we did just find that. Save here. Alright. I do have a little bit of a pathing that I've been doing on this. Like, we can go ahead and just clear Mushroom Way. Because the only thing we can do here is, well, oops. Just get some experience, gosh. We can just, get some experience. We can also... There is one boss fight that we can clear here. Of course, Sky Troopa having high defense isn't really helping us right now. But yeah, each area is going to have different clears to them, such as doing checks. Nah, we're not going to gamba right now. Checking for key items, finding bosses to check for stars and such. And now, sadly, since it's been about a year since I've speedrun SMRPG, and I'm doing it in a different manner, I have gotten a little rusty in terms of doing Mac jumps, so if we do have to fight Mac, we will have to do it legit, so... Can still do that, though. Can still do the swag jump. Okay, and of course we don't have to rescue Toad. Really, Toad is just for a couple little items here and there. But the main thing about Mushroom Way is going to be the Hammer Brothers over here. They do have an equipment check. Shoot, Mario doesn't have his jump. Oh no, he does. Okay, we're good. We're good. There we go. Missed the cue last time. Alright. Done and done. Ooh. Got a flower jar off of him, too. Just a hammer. No. It is probably best right now. That's at least a check. Hammer Brothers are done. Trying to think of what other free checks that we've got out there. I know. We can go do this one. We can also just roam around since the map is open and go do, go check all the shops for equips and stuff like that. Oops. I was close. Yeah. One note off. The bad jump. No, I'm good. There we go. Alright, Todosky, what you got? Alto card, really? Vanilla Alto card. Okay. Which I guess does give us more access to the frog shops over here. Does anyone have any questions, queries, observations, or anything? Ooh. Wow, that is not great. That is not great at all. Well... Huh, we do have the lazy shell over here. And we do have the safety rings, so this would protect us from all things. All of the status effects up there, as you can see going forward. The other neat thing about the rando devs is that they've included like all the information as to what all of the equips can do, such as how much defense, how much offense, magic, attack and offense, defense, as well as what status effects it guards against, if it adds to your stats, such as speed or anything, as well as guarding against fire, ice, and lightning magic. So that's really handy. Early lazy shell and safety ring, right? Like, the lazy shell is good, and I guess I'll probably go ahead and put it on Peach until we can find super suits. Yes, the super suit is included in the chaotic shop mix-up here, so that's something. Go ahead and grab that from Mallow. We're gonna take a look around and mix everybody up. Safety ring. Okay. This will at least give us a chance to, like, be a little more guarded against any of the, like, slightly more difficult bosses, since I'm not really one to go around and grind until I can, like, get some good equipment and know I'm safe. Purple cookie, shiny stone, a wallet. Again, not great, but that's okay. I'm not gonna go turn in the cricket jam, because I think the cricket jam is only for frog coins from Frogfucius. Go check the shop over here, get the secret chests. The other thing is if you're trying to learn this game or learn more about it, is that the rando does reveal all of where the locations of the secret chests. If you never knew where any of those were as a kid, now you do. Power Blast is amazing. Gonna get some of those. Okay. E-booster. Group of pin. Still not great in terms of equipment-wise for everybody. I don't think there's any more checks in here other than getting the other items. The other cool thing about the Randomizer webpage that I linked is that they do have a player's guide which details absolutely everything about this game, such as just exactly how to play SMRPG, what your spells are. It even details spell swapping, the glitch with the Peach, what was it, the Peach whatever it was that Claude found all those years ago, which swaps using a superstar and opening the menu at the right time can swap an ability and a level up of two of your party members. Enemy attacks, equips, what they do, key items and what they're about, and then where to find certain items, what all your checks are, and what you can do in certain areas. And it can just tell you right off the bat if something's like completely useless, kind of like Rose Way. It's like no bosses or shops, just spoils here, or a story. So you can kind of write off some areas right off the bat. Shop. Oh, I almost forgot the key item behind the sign. That's another boo flag. That's another flag spot, which can be another key item. Just forgot about that. Town is occupied. You can sleep in the inn for a free item. And of course, then the gardener. Hey, 10 power. Yeah, the SMRPG randomizer. Ooh, Castle Key 1. That's a good one. That will get us at least in the door to Valentina's castle. That'll get us in the door for Birdo, which is another boss and another check. We'll need Castle Key 2 if we have to take on Valentina. I'll leave those be. I haven't ever actually slept at the inn, so let me see what that is. Stay for a nap. Keys for fun. No, let me see. It says key 2. Let me go up there. Castle Key 1 unlocks the first locked door in Nimbus Castle for a boss fight, which is Birdo. Castle Key 2 unlocks the second locked door in Nimbus Castle to lead to a boss fight, which, assuming is Valentina. I'm just going off of what the randomizer guide and all that tells me. We'll see. It should say like when the key is used, or we'll hear the such and such. Toad! What are you doing here? Okay. Just Toad right there. Save! And then some minor spoils over here as to what all the other characters look like and all that. All the checks there, aside from the gardener. I'm gonna go down Pipe Vault, because this does lead to another check, which is the other flag location between the O and the A. That works. And we'll go here. Do that yet. And there we go. I'm not so much in the need for frog coins since we start with maximum with free shops, but getting that extra flower point is nice. Oh, rude. Trying to dodge the piranha plants and yet get chomped. And at the flower point. Go for that one because it's bait. Oh, because her attack is so low right now. She can't do any damage. Oh my gosh. That's actually kind of hilarious. Of course, another hidden chest back here. Which I probably should get in the habit of checking all the chests. Big blue flag, okay. Vanilla flag. So we've... Okay, Cricket Jam, Alto Castle Key, Big Boo, we're good. Haven't found anything else. I'm not doing Yoshi races. Sorry. Yoshi races are not necessary, at least in my part of the rando. Go around all the other shops. See if anything else is here. Key! Thank you so much for the raid again, friend. How are you? How was your stream? How are the games? And how is everyone? Key. Good to see you. Ooh, candy. Doing all good. Got attacked by another whale? What? How did you get attacked by a whale? What did you do? Oh wow, Hammer is actually weak? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, welcome in everyone. Happy to see you. We are trying our first attempt at SMRPG Randomizer. As you can see, I've got my tracker here above the camera. We've got a lot of just stuff mixed up and everything. You get to space age in the game you're playing. Space whales start to spawn as a threat. What? What game were you playing? Sorry, I don't think I think I forgot to ask. Sounds interesting though. I know I do have a partiality for whales and narwhals myself, so I had to ask about that. Before we leave. Oh, okay, you're still on before we leave. Got it. Very nice. I get the war fan, but I also want the frying pan. But yeah, welcome in everyone. And thank you, Key, for bringing your community over. It means a lot. Go ahead and get him that. Get that for Mario. Peach is fine. And get that before I find me. What's it? Get pick-me-ups, just in case. Sell there. Yeah, before we leave. I hope you're having a lot of fun with it. Oh! Double punches for Gino. Oops. That was for Mario. Whoops-a-poodles. The only other thing is beating Rocco, which I don't think we're gonna be able to do right now at level 1. No, still not. There's a frying pan. Oh, Sonic symbol, good. Ooh. Scarf. Safety badge. Safety ring is better. Go ahead. Super hammer. Sonic symbol. Save that for Gino, just because we're gonna run into him at some point. Alright, so... Still haven't found the best equipment, but we should probably start clearing some bosses out. Which we should be able to do, even at level 1. Check here. You pick me up. Oh wow. A lot of stuff here. Elixir's good. Okay. Of course, all the secret chests, yet again, are revealed. Come on, lady. I don't think there's anything else in Peach's castle aside from checking the chests that are in the vault guard. Let's go ahead and say hello to Krakow. I know, save. One of the other fun settings is I can always randomize bosses in terms of when we do boss checks, whatever boss is here can be a different boss, and we can either scale or not scale. So if I turned on boss randomizing, I could always run into what is it, Culex. And he could either be scaled to Krakow's level, or he could be absolutely terrifying when you meet him in his lair. Which would be fun. But yeah, I feel all in due time. Just right now, we want to be able to just kind of have fun with it, you know? This is our first, like, real foray into, Randomizer. Alright. Can't do Doge jump, sadly. Learned how to pull that off. Go ahead and give her HP. I mean, I know I put Lazy Shell on Peach right now, but I feel whenever we get the super suits, I'll probably take that off. Just because I like Peach being able to do some damage. Yeah, sure. Mallow's a good, magic user. Hello. Alright. And to seek out the alligator. Or the croco, I guess, depending on which. Turn around. Oh, jerk. Turn around. Come on, turn around. Gotcha. Alright. It wasn't ever ideal, sadly, at beating Croco. Or doing the little chasing mini game here. Oh man, even with her attack load with that brine pan, she can still do some decent damage. And that's Croco! Oh man. Alright, what key item do we get? shed key, really? And a star. There's our first star. And the shed key. Which the shed key should open up all of the shops in a seaside town. Where you, release all the people locked up in there. I'm not sure where they're wanting us to go. Again, stars can be on bosses, mini-bosses, and such. Like, they're not all with, in their regular spots. So that's fun. Also need to remember to use up all my flower stuff. I was a little bad about that. Right, and then this opens up, Mushroom Kingdom being occupied. Which in turn means Mac. Yep. To have all these little low-level enemies we don't really have to worry about. I find it very fitting thinking about the randomizer and just continuing to look at Mallow here. Ooh, there's Peach's heal spell. They call him Frog with this palette here. Which is kind of hilarious. When I first saw him in the opening, since it does show what palettes swaps are for the characters in the opening, I almost thought they were gonna call him Hulk. But... yeah, sure. Alright. Yeah, I love the palette swaps. I think they're a good feature. Alright. Mushroom Kingdom is occupied. Shift here. This guy. A wake-up pin. I don't know if that's randomized or not, or if that's... oops. That's just another, like, equipment check we can get there. Alright, we can go down here. Yeah, the interesting thing is you can actually check the vault twice. You can check it when Mushroom Kingdom is and isn't occupied, and you can get those chests twice. The other interesting thing is that they, thankfully, moved the frog coin chest that's on top of the bar over there to over here, so you never risk missing that. And also cutscenes are skipped, for the most part. Make an attempt. Nope. I had it one time, but just the jump got screwed up, so we will just fight Mac. Thank you, safety badge. Again, we are impervious to almost any kind of magic, thanks to the safety badge. Which jump do I do? I think one of the other settings that they had on there was, what's it? I think I could actually randomize the music that plays. It's either that or, like, that particular boss music plays when the bosses are shuffled. I forget. That, yet again, something we'll be probably playing around with when we get better at these randomizers, you know? Realize you just haven't seen a Mac fight in probably 20 years. Well, you see him one today, Violet. And how are you? Yeah, I am not used to doing max skip on this controller, and I haven't done one in probably a year, so I am heckin' rusty. So again, just being able to go in and just floor them. Better just to go ahead and fight Mac. But yeah, I know the feeling, having so many talented people just being able to pull off max skip at the drop of a hat, so... Dang. I was hoping we get a star. Oh, we did! We did! Heck yeah! Okay, well, there's our second star. Wow. 2 stars with 2 Area 1 bosses. That's actually kind of crazy. Me, I've never pulled it off myself. I know, I know. I mean, it's not free, but it is something that everybody can learn, I would say, especially with some practice. I remember how satisfying it was when I first pulled off max skip. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is not free, so anybody that can just pull it off just like that, mega talented. Got the muscle memory and all that jazz. You do. Here you go. Sure. Thank you! And then that'll get rid of 1 extra item slot. So where else? Where else are they telling us to go? Is this gonna be like almost vanilla? I know there are a couple of other free checks we can do. I've just gotta remember them. I guess we could go clear Forest Maze and see who we pick up here. Because technically, since this is where we get Gino, this is where we can get another party member. I think it's only a boss and a party member we get here. I don't think there's any key items, sadly. In chest and boom. I don't know if I've ever woken up with such force to be able to toss somebody out of my room. You know? I'm sure people and myself have been angered enough by being woken up that they've wanted to, but alas. Usually when I'm woken up, it's by someone outside of my room, or even outside of my house than it is by my bedside. We're going to save. That. Who we got? Bowser. Okay. An interesting palette. So then Gino's gonna be at Marymore. Interesting. Wasn't enough to take him out? Much life you got, dude. A lot of life, obviously. And then Boyer fight. Again, I know I'm not ever gonna shut up about video game music like we were talking about at the beginning of stream, but man, oh man. This whole soundtrack is good. One? The heck? Okay. Good. Uh-huh. Status defense. Every battle music in this game is such a jam. It really is. And that's Bowyer. And we got a flower box. Interesting. HP. Mostly with the randomizer, I've usually stuck to either getting HP or attack up. I haven't really had to worry about using magic as much. Dry bone. And another star. Okay. Yeah, since Bowser has his interesting palate, they have named him Drybone. Dry bones. Yeah, let's put him in. Stuff for him? No, but I have a safety ring. Better than nothing. Okay. I don't think there's anything else. I know there's the room with all the chests and stuff, but it doesn't have near as much value. I think it's mostly items and such. What else can we do? Oh, I can go check Star Hill. See if there's anything lurking over there. As we have Mario's palette nearly blending into the colors of Star Hill over here. Yeah. Ah. Its little flail. Safety ring. Yeah, I agree with the level up screen. I get a kick out of having the palette swapped characters pop up out of there. Again, like, I will almost never not use palette swap on when we play this randomizer because it is just so good. Just adds that little bit of something to this game. Okay, and I've got to remind myself to always check up here, so I don't just instantly leave Star Hill without checking, well, for a star. I have done that before. I have indeed done that. Back here. Nothing. Even though Star Hill is still a check for a star, all the little handful of seeds that I've done never have a star on Star Hill, of all ironies. It's always been with, Smithy and other bosses and such. I don't know. Go check Seaside Town. Yes, I know. Can't take you on right now because you're a butt. Oh. What you got, dude? I guess we could get a couple more rock candies. Flower box. Alright. Check the sea, because there is a shop down here. Well, equipment for Bowser, but nothing else. Even then, it's not great. Really not great. Right now, better than nothing. Less about the sea. Ship. Great. Just beat Booster. But not Booster. Bowyer. Hang on. I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go to Land's End. I have a method for the madness. I know this is a higher level area and we're going into it at level 5. I have a method behind the madness. Oops. Come on, ding-dongs. Save again. Now, the reason I am coming all the way over here because of this. This is fine, right? Don't stab me with your watering can. It's rude! It's fine. Wait, what? Oh, does the attack scarf... I don't think it has the same protections as the safety ring does. Well... that's concerning. Peach. Therapy to Mario. I guess this is the first time this has actually been kind of scary wandering in here. The other times I've normally already found the super suit and such. Come on, Neil. Faster than us, too. Okay, yeah, attack scarf doesn't have the protections that the safety ring does. Oh boy. Yowzers. Hold up. Nice freebie. Mario, wake up! Guess I need to give him some therapy so he'll... Would you just die already? My gosh! No. What have I done? Not sure why these guys are so powerful. Oh, I needed to heal one of them. Oops. Chad, how are all of your Fridays going? Have anything good or bad happen during the week? Man, Peach needs group hug. Where's my group hug, dang it? Need you all to die. Thank you, there's one. Okay, this is fine. I was not expecting these enemies to be that big of an ordeal. Good. So fast. You know what? You impervious to fire. Sheesh. Nah. Sure. Oh boy. Peach, we all need therapy. Those enemies were terrifying. That's fun. Alright. So, the reason we came the long way is to get that, because normally the cricket jam is up there. Now we've got the tenor card, which gets us another check in the tadpole shop. Come on, booze. Swapping back out for Frog. Since Frog has the more powerful weapon and a heal right now. Alright. And that's Bedlam. No star though, sadly. We can check the box though. Oh, we can go check that box over there. See if there, by chance, there's a star hidden in it. It. Let's go there. Here it is. Right? Endorite. Alright, panda right down. Ouch. Ouch. And a star. Okay. Star number 4. Wow. We are barely an hour into this seed and we've already got 4 stars. My gosh. At least this is one of the shorter checks. Wait. Oh, excuse me. And this out. Alright. Okay, so we could go do... Well, we could go do Croco. We don't have the bomb to get to Punchinello. Ooh, now we've really got to start thinking about where some of these key items are. Let's see. Let's see where we've done all of our checks. Haven't gotten the rare frog coin. Until we get the rare frog coin, we don't have that check. So there's still one more in Mushroom Kingdom. That... did those. The Pandarite and Belome. Cricket Jam. It's the Cricket Jam spot. Excuse me. It'd be more worth it to go back to Bloody Bay after we finish Moleville and Land's End. It's Main's pipe. I mean, there is a chance we could defeat Croco, and he has either has the bomb or another good key item. Or... The only other thing we could do is probably go clear Booster. I think that's going to be the right call, is going to clear Booster Tower, because there's the key that's in the checkerboard room that would open up the room in that same area, but it could be another key item. And then there is also Knife Guy and Great Guy, and we can even fight a Booster. We can fight a Booster for another star. He can hold the star. It's true. Yeah. Let's just go clear Booster Tower. See about that. Okay. I'm trying to put off doing any of the, the higher level places until we get Super Suit and Lazy Shell and some of the better stuff. But also, I'm trying to do some of the easier checks. Do some of the easier checks first. We don't have to go, like, all the way to the top somewhere, only for it to not be something we need. Those... Need the weapon up there since Mario has the super hammer. Also, sadly, even though there is a palette swap on, it's still the same pixeled animation when Mario goes behind the curtain there. It doesn't pertain to what he or his party members look like. Okay, this is 6, 5, 3, 1, 2, 4. There's another key item. Soprano card, really? That just gets us another check in the shop. Well, this is special. We're just gonna roam around the room just like this. Mario's stuck in his victory pose. Hilarious. And it's just a heal. I know I don't need him, but I do have to get in the habit of getting those getting those frog coins, because whenever we do go for non-free shops, we're likely gonna need them. Just to be sure we get as many frog coins as possible for all the shops and such. Ah. Well... Good. There. Always makes me nervous whenever I run into those, because I have died to those before. Elder key. Oh, the Elder key would get us in that room back there where Bowser's thing is supposed to be. Fudge. It's only going to be an equip. I don't think it's going to be anything good though, so I'm not going to check. Okay. And then that should be the goodie bag and a frog coin. That's a heal. Alright. And then we do still have to do the mini game. Sadly, we don't get to see Gino or anybody hanging out on the no, not Gino. Forgot we don't get a party member. That's in the forest. We do still have to do the mini game. I already know where the doll is, just let me show you! Alright. And the cutscenes are shortened. Bowser cries, we get the doll. You just follow wherever you go. Got the amulet. And then we can fight Booster down here. And go save. Oh man, excuse me. I think there's some rain in the area and that normally makes me really sleepy. Right, Booster. Yeah, for those of you that have never failed the minigame and had to fight Booster, here you go. I may have to find Peach a different, outfit. I need her to be a damage dealer. Alright. Huh, nice miss. Guess Booster just has lower physical defense than the Sniffets do. Which I guess makes sense, there is wall of defense. Don't know if he's gonna have time to do his attack. Heck. Booster down. Nothing. Not even a star piece. Get rid of that. Ah, shoot, I should have changed Peach. It's okay. Fine. Might just have her use her rock candy while she can't do a lot of attack. That's what I got him for, right? Either that or I could always use a power blast. Oh boy. Well, since I've seen this move. Okay. And he's done. Oh no, Mario's silenced. Whatever will we do? There we go. Alright, knife guy, great guy down. There's Groot. Dang, no star. Okay. No star. And... well, we're here. Go grab the bright card. Oh. Yeah, I need to just give Peach some regular equipment, because, again, even though she's impervious, not being able to do damage is butts. I mean, even though Peach is a little bit weaker, when she gets up there, she can do some damage. Especially with her frying pan. Wait, dude. Left. And there's the bright card. Thank goodness we don't have to play him like 30 to 40 something times to get that card, because, my gosh. So we can check it out. Oh. Just another chomp. So, we beat Booster, Knife Guy, Great Guy. We checked Star Hill and nothing there. Let's see. Hey, Mike, how are you? Did I find one of the other flags? Hold on. I've got to get used to using a tracker over here. Okay, we got the bright card. Cricket Jam. All the cards. Big Boo Flag, Shed Key. Oh, Castle Key 1. Oh, I hit Temple Key. Well, just got back from seeing a newborn filly. Oh, that's sweet. Seems like a good thing to do on a Friday. Okay. I think we've got everything marked down. Yeah, how is everybody doing on this Friday? She was cute, and when you got there, she was napping by her mom. Oh, baby animals can be so cute. Okay, we cleared Booster Tower. Which, again, we don't have the Bambino Bomb, and we need that to get all the way through the mine. Which, again, we could risk it and see if, Croco 2 has it by chance. Only other thing would be to go in and fight Bunt, I suppose. Yeah, Croco's right there, so let's go check Croco. Just to see. Okay. First, I should probably see if I can get any better equipment for each. Fuzzy dress better than nothing. This way Peach will at least be able to do some damage, like... There. Alright, Croco. What key item do you have on your person? Oh, and we can get the flunkies. They'll give us flower tabs. See, Peach can do some damage when she's not wearing the lazy shell. Honey syrup. Not hungry. You know, it's not like absolutely necessary, but it's good from some experience and the flower tabs, so I just go ahead and fight the flunkies just because. Plus, in the future, when we don't do free shops, defeating them does give us an amount of money, since they drop 10 coins apiece. One more before we find Croco, which I think I hear him running around behind us. You can only hope he happens to have the Bambino bomb actually have him on him. The vanilla bomb. Alright, Croco. Come on! Ow! Have you played this randomizer before? I've done some test seeds, but this is the first time we're doing it on a stream. So it's like yes and no. I just wanted to be sure that 1, this was playable, and 2, this was beatable for someone like me. But the randomizer settings do... Like, you can set the randomizers for almost like any scale of difficulty. Ooh. We got a box room, too. Room key. Oh! Back in Booster's Tower. Dadgummit. Which is just another, that's just another accessory. Man. So then I guess I don't know, the next thing we could go do, I guess, is go fight Bunt. The only other thing would be, we got the first key for, Valentina's castle in Nimbus Land. I think we still need the second one to get to the next boss. Keep getting caught on the stalactites. Or stalagmites. Whichever one it is. Hmm. Okay. We beat Croco. We can't get to Punchinello yet because we don't have the bomb. Hmm. Well, go check Mary more. Oh. I'm laughing because Gino is up there. I haven't experienced this before. Because usually it's always been Peach. Oh no, don't tell me. Come here! You too! Oh right, we don't see it. I'm also not sure why Bunt is so oddly colored in this one. I haven't ever seen that cutscene before with Gino. That's hilarious. Did you get the thing? We got the stuff, but I forgot that it takes out the who gives the kiss cutscene. Great. Blow out those candles. Uh-oh, we got Sandstorm, get your Daru-doo-doo-doos out. Oh, the thing- no, he didn't have the Bambino bomb, dang it. He didn't have the bomb we needed. He didn't set us up with a bomb. Now I've got to figure out where else I need to go. And that's Bunt. Alright. Now we get Gino. And his was just like a lighter palette. Lunch. Anything for him? We'll put a safety ring on. Oh. Let me go ahead and put the safety ring back on Mario, even though it's gonna lower his attack. Having him not get status effects, I feel is gonna be a little more worthwhile in the long run. So we can find the super suits. Where is my super suit? Oh, man. Is that the best one I can get him? Guessing so. I'd also like to know where that lazy shell is, dang it. Mario needs that. He can be all the much stronger. Alright. So we fought every boss up until Star Hill, minus Punchinello, because we don't have the Bambino Bomb to get further in the mines to get back there. I guess we could go do Sunken Ship, because that's 3 checks right off the bat. That's King Calamari, the Box Boy, and Johnny. Or stars, at least. I think I'll venture around a little bit more real quick. I think we've checked almost all the shops up until now, I think. Aside from releasing the people out of the shed. To do that. Everybody's grateful, rushes out. I think we get a box. Alright. Everybody's back. Yes! Lazy shell, there it is. That's what I want. Thank you very much. Whew! 50 plus attack power to Mario. That is nuts. Still no super suit. And now every time I hear thinking about the super suit, I'm gonna think about that one scene from The Incredibles. You get to choose everybody's color. No! That is actually part of the palette swap setting in the randomizer. I don't get to choose it, it randomizes it. That's a fun part, at least. Checking. Oh, no super suit. And a biscuit. Huh. So there's actually a hammer that's useless. Interesting. Be better for Peach. Oh, yeah. You got anything, Munchkins? Oh, wow. Froggy drink. Yoshi aid. Star egg, but I don't need any of that. Oh, there is one more check in here. I've talked to this guy 7 times. Whoops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aha. What we got? What we got? What we got? There it is! Here's the bomb. Just sitting over here in Monstro Town. Okay. Now we can finish the mines. Which is nice. But we can also come up in here. There are 4 fights we have to do, but there's only 2 checks for the star. And it's this one and the final, Ow! Oh boy, I might have to put that the shell back on her. We might not be able to finish this one at all right now. Might be a little weak. Might be just a little bit underleveled for this fight. Yeesh. Yeah, it's because we don't have that super suit. Minus the lazy shell, the super suit is like the best defensive item in the game. Get everybody back on their feet. There. Sheesh. Excuse me. No star. And based off of the beating we took from Jagger, I don't think we can take on Jinx right now. Go ahead and mark that. I think we're gonna have to go to the mine, and then we'll go to Sunken Ship. Do one last check. Since most of the map is open, I can go ahead and check all the item shops. Man, no super suit here. What the heck? There's at least Gino's best weapon. Oh wow, that took like all of our pick-me-ups. That's concerning. He doesn't have one. Shoot. Who had pick-me-ups? That's the only other problem, is you don't know who is stocking what in the shop. Your niece is watching with you. Hello, Mike's niece. It's very sweet. This is such a good game to just have for like all audiences though. I'll go see if Punchinello has a star. No, we're not gonna double our XP. Oh. I got confuzzled. She waved. Don't. Man, thank you, early safety ring at least. Locking all these status effects and magic and such. Need Bowser up. Okay, here we go. We can move forward. Ooh. Superstar power! No level up though. That's okay. Ah, give. Get everything else up until this point, but we're still going to do a safety save. We don't know what kind of hijinks Punchinello could get up to. No, not the rude sandstorm. Ooh. Alright, frying pan for the win. No. Hey, there's a star. Vanilla star, too. Well, not vanilla, since it's not the third star, but we take those. Alright, everyone. Yeah, you know what? Let's do a prediction. For funsies. It's time for everyone to guess if I can beat the minecart minigame in under... What is it, 225? Because we are about to play a minecart game, and there are ways I can mess up, and it's going to be timed. So, get your predictions in. We're going to run that for 2 minutes, and while we're doing that, I'm going to take a quick break, run some ads, and get some more water. So again, I want to say I can do better than sub 225. I'm nowhere near sub 2 minutes yet, but this is a chance for you to put your bucks on the line to say how good I am. We'll run some ads and we'll be back. Alright. Addiction is over. Ads are wrapping up. Very good, very good. Well, let's see how good I am at this minecart minigame, shall we? Because we do have to do this, because I believe this opens up another check back in Melody Bay, where we can play the Moleville Blues for Todovsky. Also, honk a horn for good luck. Gotta remember where are good spots to use mushrooms. We've missed out on one of them. Oh. Well, this isn't looking good. 48 into the cavern. 105. Never accelerate there, because you will not slow down in time. Probably could have set up there, though. Always go right, because left is heckin' slow. Oops. Alright, 159. I think I can hit sub 2, sub 25. Okay, sub 19. I guess I got a little bit better. So yes, if you believed I could actually do sub 225, you get paid. So there we go. Money to the believers. You're not sure how to vote on mobile, that's okay. That may be something I'll have to experiment with at some point. Just to see how easy it is for voting on mobile. Alright, so that clears out the mine. But we're still short 1 star piece. And the only other checks we've got right now, for the star at least, is going to the ship. It's 3 checks for us. So to the sunken ship. So using new tech that going around the room doesn't get you attacked by enemies. It's true. Free fire flower that I don't think I ever knew about when I was a child. Hidden in the corner. Coins, which we don't need. Need any of these bonuses. I'm talking to this guy. Super slap, but not the super suit. Nuts. Suit would have been clutch there. Nothing to do with the sea. Which, if you don't know, you haven't played this game or watched me play it last year or anything. 6-letter word. And with these letters, password is pearls. Oops. That's such a good little touch to have the squid's arm come through there. Like, taunting you, like, bring it on. I've got you. Alright, first round down. And they just skid across the floor. Green beam, we should be fine. Remember the first time solving that puzzle as a kid, had all the hints written down, was thinking about it during church. Oh, I think I didn't. The funny thing is, I failed one of them, and I think it was that last one because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know about the barrel in the corner and rolling it backwards. I don't think. It was one of them that I couldn't do, and so I didn't have all the hints to know what the answer was. And I think I remember asking my mom to think with me, and I think she actually, like, she thought of a good one, which was like sponge, which is like, there are sea sponges, as it says, like, it's on the seabed or whatever. Which pearls didn't make sense, because normally pearls are nestled in, scallop shells. Or clam shells. Your mom solved it for you? I feel like a lot of us that played this when we were young had to have some outside help. Hey, Minstrel, how are you? Hope you are well. We're actually going through this seed a lot faster than I thought. And without finding, some of the equips that, I've normally had. It's in the 2 seeds that I tested with, I found, like, the super suit, like, almost right away, and was a lot better set for some of these boss fights. But we're making it. I mean, again, we are less than 2 hours into this, and we have 5 stars out of the 6 we need to get into the smithy fight. Tired but doing well, decided to take a day off. Well, good for you. It's good to take care of yourself. Are you? I'm doing alright. A little sleepy just because of the rain that we've had in the area, but I'm good otherwise. What else is new, right? Let's see. Gotta go. Thanks for hanging out, Mike. Hope you and your niece have a good Friday. I think we're good on items, so I don't really need this check-in. It's just an equip. Cool. We're going to save, because we don't know how hard Box Boy is going to hit in here. Yeah, hey clone, bye clone. You're not wrong. This is another check for a star. Oh, the hit on, not the Box Boy. This? Well... Good. Oh, this isn't gonna be good. They need to use a power blast. Was not aware the randomizer for SMRPG had been finished. Yes, there is still work being done on it, of course. But yeah, there is a randomizer out there. Oh, they're going to be annoying. Didn't hurt because safety ring. Can't dodge that. Stop going for Mallow! What is it randomized so far? Based off of the settings that I've got, I have star locations randomized, which any boss or mini boss can carry it, including the boxes. Key items are randomized, which means key items are in different spots that other key items are. Like, all the key item spots are randomized. What else? Pallets are randomized, obviously, by our party members here. Equipment. All the equipment is, I think it's what's called the chaotic item shop, which means that all of the item shops have a chance to carry every item in the game that is a non-key item. All the equips, all the items, weapons, etc. Which is kind of why I was looking for the super suit in some of the item shops here. Plus, almost every map in the game is open, minus Bowser's Castle, until we get the 6th star. Every item, yes. From the worst to the best. It can all be found in the shop. Including the super suit, the attack scarf, the lazy shell equip, and Mario's weapon, lazy shell. So, quite nice. Do this. See ya. If you are curious... Let's see if I still have it copy-pasted. I do. If you are curious what I'm going off of, I have been using all the information with this website right here. It not only has the randomizer, it walks you through the whole thing. It also has like all of the switches and the what can be randomized, all the switches on there, as well as a full complete guide. Like, even a guide, it even says, it's like, for all of those that loved it or played the heck out of this game, there may be even something on the guide that even you don't know on there as well. So yeah, super handy, helpful website. I am also using an SMRPG open randomizer tracker. If you just search for it, you'll find it. It's on from Pidge01, she is like the SMRPG encyclopedia. Spends all day exploring the shops before taking on any of the bosses. I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing, Minstrel. So I don't fault you for that line of reasoning. Because, I mean, you can get some of the best equipment in the game before you even take on the first boss. I'm talking before you even take on the Hammer Brothers and whatnot. So yeah. Safety badge, no star. Okay. So. Okay. So the last check is gonna be Johnny in this area. We'll see if he has a star. If you could skip all the hidden boxes and just get the reward somewhere. You right. You right. Let's go find Johnny. Now, as we go on, I am really enjoying myself with this so far, especially being able to get back into SMRPG. But, right now, fish. Right now, I'm just kind of doing settings, such as what they call free shops, where you have maximum money, everything costs like 1 coin and such. Just to make it easy to get the equips and other stuff. That's an interesting look for Mario underwater. He kind of looks like he has like a white shirt and hat versus the blue he has when we're above water. Interesting. But I mean, as we go on, we could probably look into some slightly more difficult settings, such as turning off free shops, such as randomizing stats, equipment stats, or whatnot. So some of the worst stuff in the game could be the best stuff. I don't know. All kinds of settings out there we could fiddle around with. Does it start out fairly open world then? It does. It's pretty much completely open world aside from Bowser's Castle and Smithy's Factory. Everything is open. You can go practically everywhere aside from somewhere that is barred from like mostly a dungeon with a key item. Like you need the Bambino Bomb to progress further to get to Punchinello. You need the castle keys to get further in Valentina's castle in Nimbus Town. And everywhere else you can go. It's just a matter of what's there. Or like a seaside town. Like the town is like it is invaded before you fight Yuridovich, but you have to find the shed key in one of the key item spaces in order to free the townsfolk and change the shops back to normal. And such. I'll just wait to see streamers try to take on torturous low-level randos. Oh no. I mean, based off if you get really lucky, again with seeds, if you get the super suit, if you get the safety rings, if you can get rock candies, power blasts, crystalline, you never know. It's just a roll of the dice, really, to see how far you can get at what low level. Never know. Yeah, run away. Eat. Imagine being Smithy at level 1, looking at with perfect evasion and near infinite rock candies. I mean, you would definitely have to get lucky on some freebies, plus that might take some, going back and forth depending what your luck is with those shops. Oh, one other setting that I do have on that I don't know if will or will not be good, I guess especially in this case, with shop luck we've had with no super suits, is I do have the setting where if I get the bright card from Knife Guy and go to Great Guy's Casino, I can get Great Guy to warp me directly to the Smithy fight. That's an interesting setting. Like, I skip Bowser's Castle, I skip the factory and all that in between, and go straight to Smithy. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's a fun setting. Now, I don't have to turn it on, but I did just, you know, if there's no real checks that I'm looking for in Bowser's Castle or Smithy. So it made sense to me to just go ahead and skip through all that and go straight to Smithy. Are you sure you want to grind that guessing game to get there? Oh! Are you talking about guessing where the bright card is, Minstrel? Because that's something else I can turn on, but I haven't. Bright card is still in the vanilla spot, which is with Great Guy, or with Knife Guy in Booster's Tower. It is not in the key item rando pool yet. So that makes it a little easier. But yes, I can put the bright card in the rando pool if I so wish at one point. Make that really fun. And I can turn it off. I can make it where I have to go through Bowser's Castle. I can also turn on how many Bowser doors I have to do in order to progress through Bowser's Castle too, so there's that as well. Maybe. tough. Net knife guy's guessing game. Oh. That's the other good thing, is you only have to do it the one time. Like the first time he's like, hey, you want to play a game? And then he gives it to you if you get it right that first time. Yeah. I definitely said that when we played it. It's like, I am so thankful I don't have to play the game like 30 to 40 times to ensure getting the bright card. Because, man. Like, that's like emptying your pockets to get rid of like all the junk items he gives you. Yeah, it's very convenient for sure. Alright, there's Johnny. Will he have a star? No! No star from Johnny, okay. So, leaves us with a number of other mid to end game bosses to find the star. Alright, let's go fight Yuridovich. He's right here. We should be able to take him on, right? The other hard boss in the game, true. No freebie. Besides Smithy and Culex, you right. Ow! Yeah, only thing else about the super suit is how much it buffs all your stats. Attack, your defense, etc. Okay. And it's funny that the water blast is the one like attack or spell that isn't blocked by the safety ring. Oh, it must have worn off. Dang it. Alright, there's Yuridovich. Is it not elemental, or does the safety ring miss that for element? It might miss that element, because it does cover fire, ice, and lightning, but I don't know if it's like water isn't considered elemental or what. I don't know why it misses that. I might put Gino in the party too. Dang, no star. And a biscuit. Tape. Safety ring. Gonna get key item? Reaper flag. Oh. Big Boo flag and the Reaper flag. I mean, the flags are really just for an accessory and equip anyway, so it's not necessary. we go. Significant dude, isn't it? Good old mushroom boy. Accessories. Accessory. But then the question is, what other stores could the super suit be? Because that's either what's his face down in Barrel Volcano, or Croco in Bowser's Castle? Well, the next one to fight is gonna be Belome too, so get to it. So I have to do these in order. Man, we were doing so good on stars, but now having to check for the last one is gonna take us practically through the entire game, it feels like. Especially since we don't have all the key items to get through there yet. There's that guy. Water is considered non-elemental. Really? Makes sense. Yeah, sorry. I meant water blast. Yeah. Back here. So apparently Earth Crystal has that attack? That is interesting. All of it. Someone must have been confused about the true concept of that attack. True. Come back here, you. Kiss is still a pain in the butt. That's an unblockable attack. We're going on about almost 2 hours and 20 minutes into this into this particular seed. Again, not bad, but if we can just find the star, we'll be set. Where are you? If Peaches revive. I still get a kick out of Mallow being this color and being called Frog. The whole meme of Mallow's not a tadpole, but yet the randomizer gives him that color and calls him Frog. Ha ha ha. Alright. That is a cute detail. The same way that they call Bowser here Dry Bones. And that there's even a color palette for Peach that is called and makes her look like Daisy. So I find that a very cute little detail that they've put in this one. Where it's like, it's a color palette that looks like a certain character, and then they name it after that and stuff. Just the devs having fun with it. Right. And we don't have the temple key. Not that I'm worried about it. But out of the super suit, I'm not taking you on. Huh. That was actually a Yoshi cookie, though. All these other times, it's always been like a full heal mushroom. Interesting. This will always be good for money. Don't have the temple key, which there's not really anything we need in that room. It's just a bunch of frog coins, some nice items, and a bunch of flowers. So, just go on to Balome. Right. Never forget a taste. Oh, he's gonna clone Mario. Oh no. Now he's gonna have 2 clones! There. Slow me down. That's Sprite. There. Easy enough. Question is, will we get a star? Really? No star. None of a gun. So the water crystal does not have water blast either, but the earth crystal in Culex' fight does. This game, yo. I'm guessing you're going down the rabbit hole of the wiki or the guide in there, Minstrel. I mean, it's not a bad thing to do. I can totally understand that. Do you have anything interesting? Good. No. The other thing we can do in here is if we can fight Jinx. Then I don't know if we'll be strong enough to survive an attack since we don't have the super suits. So we don't have the best equipment in the game. We can try though. Never thought of collecting all the psychopath messages, but some of them are amusing. Oh, I remember that was one of the things I liked when I played this game. Oh, food. For instance, the fire crystals. I got a vacuum tonight. That is funny. Save it. Yeah, because even the ones that I remember doing with Psychopath, with when I was a kid, or even my initial playthrough last year, I remember a lot of them being pretty funny or fitting. Good. Will you stop that? Do you mind, good sir? Yeah, if we're having this much trouble on first Jinx, I can't imagine what second and third Jinx is gonna be like. And first Jinx down. The things I can think of as doing is just keep progressing. Where is this last star, dang it? I guess for that matter, where's the second castle key to get to Valentina? I think it's for Valentina, I forget. Hey, we're using Valor up. I think his defense. No! Patience. Let's miss. Patience. That hits hard. So it looks like the elements in this game's mechanics are actually neutral, non-elemental, jump, ice, and thunder. Jump makes sense. It's like, yeah, jump's an elemental since Mario uses it. I do remember in the old low-level route that used to be, like, really important, was charging up Mario's jump without getting experience. What they call the jump farm. Yeah, I think I used to be able to block against that. I forget. Okay. There's that, but still have one more fight to go through if we want that last check. Oops. It's fine. Ow! Rude? So we do have access to Geno Boost. Okay, I don't know how long my characters are gonna live enough for that to be effective. Let's try. Heal herself out. Curious that the crystals have the usual 4 elements, but the game itself doesn't. Oh. That is true. Which I guess is kind of like that fight is even more of a shout out to classic RPGs. Okay, good. Alright, vigor up. We almost have it. I think that also means it gets stronger. Ow, rude. And rude. Means Peach doesn't have Geno boost. Also, sorry, late notice, but a flash warning, everyone. Whenever I use, like, the Geno boost and stuff like that. At the very least, I guess we are missing some of the cutscenes that have, like, a lot of flashing from the defeat ones, like the cutscenes with Jinx assembling, or, whenever and if we have to defeat the, Axum Rangers and such. Boulder's non-elemental is our Sandstorm, Storm, and Water Blast. Okay, good to know. Especially in terms of being attacks you can't dodge or miss on the safety badge. Hey, there we go. Does Jinx have the star? Oh, dang it. Man! Okay. This just means we need to go to... Need to go to Bean Valley. Jinx Belt is still good. That is true. Funny enough, Jinx Belt is also in the mix. It is good attack and defense-wise, for sure. It would just be better against status effects and elements. Like, if we had the super suits, I wouldn't have the need for the safety rings, because the super suits do the same thing. They all neutralize status effects and, elementals. But yeah, still a good weapon. Still a good equip, nonetheless. Somehow I think Geno got ahead of everybody in terms of levels. Think... Ooh! Go for this one! Biscuits. The top one has the entrance to the casino. This one has items. Oh. As well as, I think it has a box boy in it too, as long as I fail that roulette box. Also say looking into the element detail is making me feel a lot better about not realizing the game even considered elemental attacks for literal decades. True. Yeah, I mean, as kids and sadly even as adults, we didn't know what was covered on what until we were able to like look into it or experiment and such. We didn't know what kind of elements there were. We didn't know what was non-elemental, what was dodgeable, what was non-dodgeable, without paying attention, writing it down. You owned an official strategy guide and still didn't realize. Me too! I'm absolutely in the same boat with you, Minstrel. I had that cute little magazine with what was supposed to have all the information in it, and I still didn't feel like I knew everything. Like, we didn't know about status, well, we knew something about some status effects, but we didn't know, like, the priority order of status effects, like if you got one but another one stacked, that one would take into effect, or we didn't even know. I don't even think that the strategy guide even detailed like what all the maybe it did, because you could see that in game. I was gonna say how much each piece of equipment did for your stats. Like, you could only tell that from using it in the menu. Maybe. It's been a long time since I've looked at that thing. I'm sad I lost it. Free red essence. There he is, okay. That's where you... Oh boy, he has a friend. You still have yours. Need to read through it when you get back to Ohio. Aww. Yeah, if you find anything neat or interesting, definitely feel free to, like, share it in the Discord in one of the game channels, or you can even DM me with stuff like that, because I love, like... I miss having that, player's guide. I mean, heck, the funny thing is, now that I think about it, that might have been one of the reasons... ow. One of the reasons I was given the player's guide was probably when I asked my mom for help on, the sunken ship password, because I had, like, no clue. Because I don't think we had it when we first got the game. Or maybe I saw it, like, in a store somewhere. I forget. I just remember one day I had it, and it was always so much fun to read through it. You do damage. Peach, you pick up Mario. Good. Get out of here. Much as I question the internet, the wiki, I'm far more confident in the wiki than the player's guide this day. Yep. I mean, again, back then it was hard to know, like, what exactly stuff was, bringing it over from Japan, translating it to another language and such. And we didn't know a lot of the equipment and a lot of the equipment's, like, underlying qualities. I mean, like, it wasn't on purpose, of course. It's just stuff you didn't know back then. It was probably the same for a lot of other older RPGs, too. Oh my gosh, you had it? Seriously? Well, there you go, folks. There's our last star. Courtesy of one of the treasure boxes, the box boy. Huzzah! So now we don't have to do Valentina, we don't have to do Volcano. Barrel Volcano. Question is, though, could we defeat Smithy at this state? And I honestly don't know if we could. Considering. I mean, we've got some red essences, we've got Kira Colas, Mega Elixirs, Power Blasts, Rock Candies. I could go get a crystalline or two and see if that helps. This is gonna be a thing. I mean, we could see. I could go right now and see if we can defeat Smithy. All I gotta do is go to Great Guy's Casino and have him send us right there. Who knows? Time to spam red essences and rock candies like there's no tomorrow. I mean, I will use them. I will use them sparingly. At least the red essences, since we only have 3 and they last for 3 turns. But yeah, we'll definitely have to be careful. Most likely go on Peach to keep our healer alive. Not only that, I might actually need to put the the lazy shell on her just to ensure she has better defense. Very curious how many red essences and rock candies that would actually take. It is a good question. I mean, there are other ways to get red essences, such as I think you can get 2 from the Yoshi kid if you grind enough cookies and feed them to the baby Yoshi. In, what's it? On Yoster's Isle. Over here. Oh. Huh. That's so interesting that it actually does matter from where you enter on the map. Hmm. Because, like, when we enter from the top of Land's End, we actually came in at the top of Land's End. The little things, you know? Alright. Okay. At the very least, Lazy Shell does do the same thing as the safety ring, so we probably actually could put the attack scarf on Peach as well. And have that be good. Yeah, does the exact same thing. And then she would be impervious to instant death, too. That would be perfect. Oh, but she can't put it on! Son of a biscuit. That's right. Forgot. Okay. Axe Scarf is Mario only. Son of a gun. But not the Jinx Belt! Heck yeah! Okay. Perfect. Lazy Shell. Second course. I don't remember if anywhere has the hero shirt. I think I've seen it. I've just got to remember who had it. And I can't remember if Star Cape is his best equip or not. Trying to find a glitch that gives Peach Mario's equipment. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Quick look at the shop, see if someone has the hero shirt. I think aside from the super suit, that's probably Mario's best equipment. She already gets Mallow spells, you right. Yeah, I don't know if there would be such a glitch like that. Yeah, as you can see, now that we have 6 stars, the way to Bowser's Castle is open, and it wasn't earlier. Hero shirt. That should be better. That's at least something. Give him a better chance of survival. Not that we need it, but it never hurts. Safety ring on everyone else without having the super suit is the better call. Huh. They actually close off this little thing over here, I'm guessing until you beat Valentina. Interesting. Would you happen to know much about the Armageddon mod? I only know it's hard. I only know it's heckin' hard. Other than that, I don't remember a lot from the one time I watched I Ate Your Pie play it. Other than it is hard. Like, supreme difficulty. It's a timeline-dependent secret. Yep. Here... Let me just make absolutely positive that, like, nobody has the super suit and I haven't been overlooking it this whole time. Hold up. I forgot about the frog kid upstairs. No, okay. Makes me feel better. We do have all of the cards for the tadpole shop back in Tadpole Pond. We don't really need any other key items, which we could go check at Melody Bay, but we don't really need it. That would literally just be for the Temple Key and Castle Key 2. Or Rare Coin, the Cricket Pie. Or the other flag. Got the trigger event correct according to the wiki, defeating Valentina. Okay. Yeah, good to know. I can't remember if playing this as a child, if I accidentally discovered that or not. The walking out into the middle of the clouds to meet the Shy Away. Chop thing. Oh yeah, and then there's that guy. I think he just sells his regular mine stuff. It was just I'm not gonna really need royal syrup. The only thing I'm gonna be using that for is for Peach's comeback spell. Good as a Yoshi cookie is, I'm not gonna be using it. Or Sleepy Bomb. Which those do actually come in handy in terms of low level. That's not what we're doing right now. Okay, group heals. Boosts. I think they wear off? Kinda looked like they did. I could probably stand... maybe getting a few more rock cues. Those... Fantasize this game world, the number of secrets is surprising, though not unusual for a Mario RPG. No, it is not. I do agree. Goes down. Excuse me. Everybody's all happy because we saved the town. And then up on the 3-hour mark of the run. And got a red essence. All the flower stuff. Nothing else though. So Super Suit, if I'm remembering correctly, only other 2 shops it could be at has to be either in Barrel Volcano or with Croco in Bowser's Castle. That's the only other place I can think of the Super Suit actually being. Oh, the rare scarf. Other than that, the only other 2 shops I can think of that we haven't been to. Alright. To Bean Valley. Is the Croco shop some sort of pun? I don't know. I mean, other than him ending up in Bowser's Castle being like, hey, I know we were on bad terms, but I want to help you out, or whatever. But maybe. He's like, yeah, I stole this stuff from Bowser's Castle and I'm gonna sell it to you. Who knows? I also find it weird that somehow the 2 flowers were glitched over one another. There are actually 2 flowers in the field. Still not sure what this flower looks like. I mean, it kind of looks like it has one giant eyeball that I guess it could have, like, flower petals hanging over its face to look like bangs. Sprites are weird, yo, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like you truly learn the detail of them until you either examine or perler. Alright, alright. Get this one, it's super thirsty! Come on! No! Shy away over here! Now it's just taunting me. Seriously. Thank you. How many tries to get that thing to come over here? Wait. I already opened Great Guys Casino. What am I doing? I'm a dummy. Other than, I guess, getting Bowser a free level up. Duh. Yes, implicit hydrate reminder. You right. Yeah, it was already open. I was just a dummy. Alright. Alright, great guy. Warp me. And there we go. First things first. Always. Always take care of daggum smelter. Oh boy. Might need to use one of the power blasts. Ooh, or get Geno'd. Power blast the guys. It's freebie. Okay, good. Each. Lovely. Hug. Hold up, what? Oh, did it lower her magic attack too? Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. Ooh. Take out smelter. Get rid of the dadgum smelter. Oh boy. Oh no. Miss. No miss. Well, this is gonna be a fight. Mega Drain, for whatever reason, is considered a fire spell. Ooh. Well, you know. Dang it. I didn't want another one of these. Yes, do physical attacks. We love physical rather than magic. I'm guessing these are also non-elemental attacks. Yeah, the other two suits that I did, these fights were never this hard once I found like the super suits and all that. Stop killing my people! Peach is gonna have to girl boss her way through this one or something, whatever that term is. Tired of all you fools. Good. Just die already. My gosh. I Good. Oh crap. I have to use like a rock candy on these fools or something. Ooh, that hurts her pretty well too. Oh my gosh. I haven't had to struggle like this with this fight since I was a kid. Good. Get wrecked. Damn, Peach is gonna have to heal herself too. Or let's do this. That's right. Get wrecked. Oh boy. Yeesh, that hurts. Still not dead. Oh, that's bad. I forgot that the freaking shell also affects her regular magic, too. Can't even begin to do damage to Smithy if we can't get rid of this freaking smelter from adding ads. Oh. Dead. Oh. Just keep trying to check and see if Smelter's actually dead yet. Do this. Hope. Crap. Okay, not bad. Thank you! It's freaking dead. Cure Cola. Start taking these guys out. Shipers. We have focus on Smithy. Peach, focus on Hugh. It's probably due to Geno boost himself as well. Hey, Paige, how are you? You're catching us at what I hope is going to be the end of this randomizer. We were doing so good. We were like, what were we? Like only an hour in and I found like 4 of the stars. And then it took me like another hour and a half to find the other 2 stars. And I haven't found the super suit. I've got like a number of the shuffles on. Like I've got free shops on, but I've got chaotic shop, so you can find all the stuff. I mean, you know this better than I do, of course. Got the 6-star with the star shuffle on, palette shuffle, boss... No, boss shuffle isn't on. But I didn't find the super suit. Super suit was probably back down in Barrel Volcano, which I didn't have to check, or it was in Croco, which I don't have, I didn't have to go through Bowser or the factory and whatnot. But I had the factory warp on. Can't remember what the string of what all the settings were without going back to the sheet. But yeah, this has been fun nonetheless. I've been making sure to share the randomizer site, of course. Cause like this is a good time, but this is probably the hardest seed I've had so far. In terms of equipment and levels and such. Like all the rest of the time it's always been like, you know, like easy somehow. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely having fun with it, for sure. Need you just go away. This is only the first phase of Smithy too. Heck. Oh, and if it wasn't completely apparent, I'm also sporting the SGDQ Geno shirt that Miski made. I can't remember how long ago it was. How long ago was a SMRPG in a GDQ? But I just remember there was an SGDQ SMRPG shirt. It's like, I gotta get this. I gotta get a Geno shirt. So I figured that would be appropriate to sport for today. I know I've been in like such a posture where you can't really see my shirt and all that. 7 years? Are you... Oh my gosh. Oh. Gosh, 2016. My gosh. That's nuts. Come on, just go down already, Smithy. Guess the thing I'm not sure of, and I don't know if it's I'm just not hitting buttons, but for some odd reason it just looks like Mario isn't doing the amount of attack I feel he should be doing. Maybe he's underleveled, I don't know. See, he's doing 38! This is the lazy shell! He should be doing like at least 100 or more. Maybe my timed hits are bad. Oh, down goes Gino, that's fine. Using up all my Mega Elixirs too? Holy heck. At this point it almost feels like it would be worth just to go and find the freaking super suits and get some experience along the way. Just to survive. Well, phase 1 down. Great. I am a little sad though that I haven't... I've lost my touch on being able to do max skip. I mean, it's been over a year since my last speedrun attempt, and I'm on a different controller. Maybe we'll get back with it when we do more of this. I just find it funny that the party just falls in a straight line. Instead of like the varying heights of falling that they do. Heck, poor Gino is just lying face down on the ground. Alright, Smithy. Be nice. Huh? Gino has 1 HP, yet he's still in the knocked out position. What? Are y'all seeing this? What in the world? Well, that kinda sucks. I mean, at this point, it feels like it'd just be better to let him lie on the ground and bring him back up when he gets knocked out. That's kinda nuts. Okay, start using these red essences. Can you heal him? I probably can, but with how weak Peach's heals are right now, yeah, he's up on his feet, okay. Question is, will he go back down? Is the thing. That's kind of hilarious. He got up, he did get up! I had a funny moment happen earlier in Booster's Tower when we did the Elder pictures and got the key item from the photo. Is Mario did like his victory pose, but then he was stuck in it, so I was like wandering the hallway with the victory pose sprite of Mario. Like just that hallway, of course. But that was just another funny moment in this whole thing. Get Power Blast. For this we're gonna have to... Oh, Gino's probably not gonna live. Happens in the original game too, but in the Bean Valley Clouds. Really? Like he'll get stuck on a sprite, or he'll get stuck on a victory pose sprite? Hmm. We're going to town. What I got all these rock candies for, dadgummit? Gino's down, that's fine. Mario's immune. Why is my attack so low? I guess it's because I haven't really been pumping attack into him with his level ups, but that still doesn't make sense. I even feel like I'm hitting the timed attack as near correctly as I should be. Game just doesn't run a reset properties command after he does that pose, and just try to keep getting him back on his feet, poor man. This is secretly a low-level rando run. Oh gosh. I know you suggested that earlier, Minstrel, or at least toyed with the idea of low-level rando, but oh boy. Goodness. Let's do this. Oh. Well, hey Pidge, if you're in here still, have you ever attempted a low-level rando run on the seeds? On any of your seeds? I know you said you've done a low-level QLEX fight before, and that would... don't even know what that means. Just trying to beat a rando seed with as low a level as possible with strats and such. Like if you could beat it on level 1 with like the equipment, the various items and things like that. I'm not gonna bother with healing, I'll just rock candy. Just hope Gino lives. Ow! Dude. Kinda pointless in rando. You can just turn XP off. True. Forgot that was one of the settings for a minute. Keep Mario up because he can do the most damage right now. But yeah, there's an answer to that question. Is anyone could do a low level technically for kicks? True. Gosh. Never done it though, it's just a thing that exists, right? Don't want Peach to die, but let's just get Gino back on his feet. Oh boy. Okay, so my wonder is why is Peach taking so much damage if she's got the lazy shell on? Like, isn't she supposed to be like almost impervious to everything? It's so weird. Maybe I'll try this later to see how many rock candies and red essences that would take. That would take a lot, most likely. Yeah, there's no telling what kind of strategy that would take to pull it off. Goes impervious. About healing, we'll just rock candy. Although now she's not boosted, so that's gonna do 100 less. Still got these, so I'm gonna use it. Why does that hurt Peach so much? I don't understand. Back up. Yeah, we've just been talking about all kinds of different ideas and thoughts with the rando. Since it's like a rando is a challenge in and of itself. Just what other kinds of ideas you could toy around with it. Oh boy. Pick me up for it's fine. So thinking about it now, this is kind of a hodgepodge of items and things I've got going on here. I was just hoping I would find the super suit and have everybody almost basically be set. But I'm still not sure, one, why it seems like Mario is doing so much less damage even though he's got the lazy shell, and two, why it seems like Peach is taking so much damage despite wearing the lazy shell equipment. I don't know. It might just be something I'm doing. Okay. Freebie. Let's try this. Okay. Nom nom, free rock candy, right? I will take that. There's Peach. Yes. Now get her back up. You get another freebie. Okay. Okay, we'll take those. Nice. Probably use a mega elixir around here. We got him. May as well keep everybody on their feet. I like A button not working or something? Good. Alright, Magic Head. Come on, live! Nose down, that's fine. Oh boy. This, I probably need to use a mega elixir. It's to one, but to who? Each? Hey. After this, I'm gonna have to have her use a power blast again because I think it might have worn off. I guess that's another question I have is, do the power buffs wear off over time? Chino's really rocking the glass cannon approach right now. He really is. You're not wrong. He's got so many rock candies. Let's do this. Freebie that too, okay. Just chuck rock candies, how about that? Only if KO'd, really? Okay. Good to know, at least. I didn't know if it was a for so many turns thing, kind of like a red essence. Yes! Woo! Oh my gosh. That was a struggle! And what level were we at? Like 15? I think that's what level we were at. Status buffs are not true statuses, so they don't come with a turn timer. Oh. From Shredder or being KO'd. Good to know. "15 was the last level you noticed." Yeah. Beating Smithy at level 15. Okay. Again, I love all the like little variations of our party with the palette swaps going on here. Again, that they have Mallow, who looks like the Hulk, but he's called Frog. God, it's so charming about this. But there is our 7th star. Just for... And now we get to enjoy the best credits in an RPG, in my opinion. Whips that apply buffs are different. They are affected by Shredder. But if the wearer is KO'd and then revived, the buff will come back. Oh. I didn't realize that Shredder worked on the buffs on the equipment, too. Interesting. See, this is why you're, like, known as, like, the SMRPG Encyclopedia Queen, Pidge. My gosh. Because we were just talking about, like, all the unknown stuff. It's like we didn't know either when we first played this game or stuff that you couldn't glean from, like, the player's guide or the, yeah, the official player's guide magazine back in the day. There's just stuff you didn't know. Oh, and Minstrel was doing a deep dive on the Wikipedia for the like attacks and other little things in the game. Minstrel's another big SMRPG fan. He was kind enough to loan me his SNES Classic last year when I was doing a couple of the safe strats any percent runs last year. Crystals are just an FF4 reference the whole fight. Yeah. We just found it interesting that, I mean, it's Nintendo. It has to have its own set of rules, of course, so like having the typical elements such as fire, water, earth, and wind versus like jump, non-elemental, fire, ice, and lightning in a Mario game. But yeah, it's just like, it's all an FF4, shout-outs to those classic RPGs and stuff. It's kind of neat. Excuse me. Damsian's Fire Crystal, Mysidia's Water Crystal, Toroya's Earth Crystal, and Fabul's Wind Crystal. Oh, were those, forgive me, but I haven't played a lot of the old classic RPGs. I played a little bit of 4, but I don't think I ever beat it. I don't remember what the names of the crystal or the spirits with the crystals were. Play a lot of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. You remember the town names? Oh, that's right! Because the randomizer website does give shoutouts to FF4 Free Enterprise for inspiration. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's sweet, though. I mean, that's what the community... That's what I feel like the community does, is just kind of takes inspiration from one another. I mean, heck, low-level... All this low-level inspiration that's been floating around here nowadays. Like, one person does it, then another person, then another, and just keeps snowballing in a wonderful and awesome way. The same with, like, the randomizers and things like that. Just all these people just constantly working on techniques or finding different glitches and such. I mean, heck, that's how we had, Max Skip and, the Peach glitch years ago and such. Just people messing around and finding stuff. Bar none, the best community out there of any gaming community on the internet. Aww. That's sweet. I know I've seen RPG Limit Break doing a lot of free enterprise in the past for sure. I think I've still seen them doing a couple of races here and there as well. Like free enterprises and Final Fantasy relays leading up to RPG Limit Break the event in... Gosh, when is that coming up? May or June? Yeah, now we get the best credits. Which event? RPG Limit Break Minstrel. It's similar to GDQs, but in a sense that it's all about RPGs or games that are certainly longer, which are typically RPGs. That's all the event is dedicated to. Oh, you're asking the date, or responding to my date. RPG Limit Break. I forgot. Really good at stamping out toxicity, curating positive environment. The community is active enough to keep people interested. Nice. I mean, that's certainly helpful, whether in the community or on Twitch and such. Mid-July. Oh, okay. I knew I was seeing like sign-ups and stuff for them coming soon. I just couldn't remember what dates they had said. Might go to RPG Limit Break a few days at least. Nice, Paige! I remember your most of the stuff run from that few years ago. And your birthday is during that week. Ooh! Well, that would certainly be a treat. If it wasn't, I would go for the whole week. Ah. Very nice. You like to spend your birthday with your partner who can't leave Canada? Yeah. I know the feeling. I know the feeling, Pidge. My husband's birthday was exactly yesterday, and I just want to spend time with him. But I completely understand where you're coming from. I mean, it's the same with my birthday. It's like, I just want to spend time with him when I can. Oh, man. Man, like, I'm kind of sad and glad. Like, this seed is a little bittersweet that the seed was, like, hard or challenging at the same time. Because, again, the other couple of test seeds that I did, like, weren't this hard. Like, it was mostly just finding some of the key items and figuring out where the stars were. Whereas this one was, like, finding the stars, like, early, but then not finding the super suit, not getting, not finding the later stars. Oh, there you go. Development Pidge 01. Shoutouts. Yeah, there's so many good people here for sure. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, maybe the seed won't be as difficult. Yeah, gotta give some claps in chat, especially now that we have a new clap emote. You'll get SMRPG in, it's the first half of the week. You'll get to commentate. Oh! Oh, Milnium's thinking about submitting SMRPG? Which category? Are they gonna do any percent, low level, or most of the stuff, or 100%? He submitted any percent? Nice! Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Again, I remember the most of the stuff, and then, any percent. Gosh, I can't believe it's been 7 years since any percent. Any percent was in a GDQ. Man. Memes coming soon. Now try it blindfolded. What? There is no way I could do this blindfolded. Good night. 6 years since you did any percent limit break. Any percent was AGDQ 2019. Oh! Forgot about that. Shoot. Years have been flying. I mean, it's kind of like that one song says, the years stop coming and they don't stop coming. And then SGDQ was 2016. Gotcha. I don't know, maybe if I actually get decent enough at this, we could try it blindfolded, but still. Minstrel. Oh, man. Well, you did get all the stars, true. And the end. Right, 4:21. We started at 34 minutes past stream starting, so just under 4 hours. Very nice.